The governor declared October Domestic Violence Awareness Month. We sat down with Mr. Ballard, the school psychologist, to learn more about domestic violence, why it's important to learn the signs, and where you can go to receive help.
Really, when we're looking at domestic violence, that's a very broad term. So what specifies domestic violence and what can that look like?
Well, I think domestic violence is any kind of violence where it's between two people that know each other, right? So it can be, it can be husbands and wives, it can be boyfriend, girlfriend, it can be boyfriend, boyfriend, girlfriend, girlfriend, any two people that know each other well in some sort of capacity. So that's typically the way we look at it. It's different than, just violence that you would have in a crowd of strangers, that sort of thing. It can be friends as well, good friends, that sort of thing.
Awesome. And so where at Dunbar, I know we have a few programs here, what were some of those that students can go to if they feel, or that if they have been domestically violated?
Gotcha. As far as programs here at Dunbar, we do have 7 school counselors. We have 2 mental health therapists that are on staff that come from the district. We have the school psychologist. We also have our family resource center coordinator who can work with different community assets, as well as our social worker, Mr. Durson, who does a lot of that as well and does a lot of home visits, that sort of thing. We have a lot of people here that have training in that, and depending on what is going on as far as with the people involved, it could be something to get law enforcement involved in. It just kind of depends on the level of what you're seeing and what's going on and what needs to go next. So even if it's something where you know of a situation that's going on, but you don't necessarily want to be the person to kind of jump in and talk to somebody directly, we've got the tip line. We get tip lines all the time, and those tip lines, when they come through, they go to administration, they go to law enforcement, they go to the student support personnel. So we kind of take it, and whatever comes in, it goes to the appropriate person and they follow up on it. And those tip lines there is not as anonymous as you want them to be. So, it always helps if we know who is, who's being harmed and that sort of thing. But, you don't have to, actually call yourself out if you want to stay anonymous in that sort of situation. But, we also do things related to Green Dot here. And didn't get an opportunity to do as much Green Dot last year, but this year, we've pretty much trained, kind of done that initial thing with every freshman class. Here soon, we're going to be doing bystander trainings, which are kind of half-day trainings where kids who are more or less kind of influencers in different groups of kids get an opportunity to have a little bit deeper training, that sort of thing. You get some swag, you get some extra things that way. But it's really a nice program as well, just to train people in what you can do, how you can approach situations, and make sure we're taking care of each other.
And why do you feel that making October Domestic Violence Awareness Month is a big deal to try and, eliminate kind of that stigma of, I don't want to tell what's going on and stuff? Why is that important?
Well, it's like what you just said, there is a stigma there, right? A lot of times we want to help other people, but it's tough because to jump in sometimes and kind of put yourself in that situation. And, it's barriers, right? We all have barriers that keep us from doing different things. And sometimes, if we have a time where, okay, we shine a spotlight on something that we as a society need to put extra work towards, it kind of helps kind of free that up a little bit and help show that, it's something that happens. There's a lot of people that step up. There's a lot of ways to step up and help out other people. And hopefully it gives people the opportunity to learn a little bit, learn some things that they can do to help other people. Because that's, if nothing else, this last year and a half has taught us that connections are important, right? And we need to take care of each other.
For more information, look at the next slide for numbers and resources for help.